Welcome to Florida Gators Live, episode number 55. And I mentioned it before we went live to Tyler. People are going to start thinking this is a Jags podcast with how we're both wearing Trevor Lawrence jerseys. Although that game from Trevor Lawrence, I mean, what was on him? What wasn't on him? It's just a Trevor Lawrence experience.
Yeah, it really was.
It's like he gets hit from the blind side. Was it a fumble? Was it a pick? I don't even know what they officially ruled it as.
They called it a fumble.
A fumble? Okay. So it's like gets hit from the blind side. Then one of the other pick where I know the broadcasters mentioned Budda Baker, like anyone would have thrown that pick with how Budda Baker was able to make a play. And then one of the other two picks was tipped in the red zone. Like,
yeah,
you have 3 turnovers. It's like, is it on him? Yeah, but also no. They had the one interception that was on him.
Yeah, the one where you just didn't see the guy dropping out of coverage.
No.
Yeah, that was bad.
But no, people are going to start thinking this is a Jags podcast. But hey, 7-4. It's nice having a team that finds a way to win the game.
Yeah.
And not be the worst team in the fourth quarter in college football.
Yeah. It's hopefully the Gators can take some notes that even if you're kind of a flawed team, you can find ways to win games.
I know before the Tennessee game, or like before the Ole Miss game, I can't remember which one it was exactly. I was looking at a graph, and it's like how good each team is by quarter based on point differential. And the first quarter and the third quarter, the Gators were not good, but not horrible. But in the second quarter, they were actually a pretty decent team, like a top 15 team in the second quarter. But then the fourth quarter, they were like a bottom 3 team in college football.
Mm-hmm.
And it really does. It does make sense. I mean, when's the last time we scored a? Did we? Okay, I guess we scored a fourth quarter touchdown against Tennessee, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
But in a close game, you look at the Ole Miss game. Nope, shut out in the second half. Kentucky, obviously, no. Then you look at the Georgia game. Nope. Before that, Mississippi State, I think we did score for early in the fourth. And then against Texas A&M, nope. Texas, no. In the fourth quarter?
I don't think so, no, because we kind of got a lead and just kind of sat on it for a bit in that game.
Mm-hmm. And then the game before that was Miami. Our touchdown was in the third quarter, first drive. Yeah. So, and then LSU, no shutout in the second half. And then USF, I think we did have a touchdown in the fourth quarter against USF. I do remember that.
Yeah.
But like our fourth quarter, we've been one of the worst teams in all of college football, or at the FBS level.
Yeah, I mean that you just can't be successful doing that. Because if Florida, I think, has jumped out to leads. I mean, like you saw, like in the Georgia game, they managed to hold a lead for a lot of that game. But I think other teams find ways to finish games. Florida does not.
Yeah, and it's not even like those teams haven't given us plenty of opportunities to win those games.
Yeah,
I mean, 30 yards away from having a lead over Miami. Texas A&M throws a pick in the red zone, like straight to Jordan Castell. I mean, horrible ball by Marcel Reed. Georgia game, 4th and 1. You miss it. If you get that 4th and 1, you probably win that game. The Ole Miss game, you throw an interception, and plenty of opportunities to win that game.
Yeah.
Sorry. But time to move on a bit. Get some comments. Leandry here before we started. Yo, what's up, man? I hope you enjoyed the show. Hey, make sure you guys do like and subscribe.
Yep.
It's going to be weekly shows. And now that the season's supposed to be the fun part, and I'm not saying the season hasn't been fun. I always have fun during football season, even if we're bad.
Mm-hmm.
But with all the Lane Kiffin talk, which we're going to talk about plenty of on this show, maybe finish with that. Usually we finish with the game, but maybe change that up here. We did that last week too. But maybe we'll start off with the football talk and Lane Kiffin last.
Yeah.
But transfer portal is going to be a lot of transfer commits are going to happen for Florida, which last year we had like 3 meaningful transfers. This year it's going to be a lot more. I suspect, at least.
I think even if it's not Lane for whatever reason, I think that's still something you're probably going to see a lot of.
Absolutely. Sam, good evening, y'all. I just want to say I think a win over FSU will be more meaningful than a Gasparilla Bowl win. Close out the season with a win and hire the right coach for the future. If we find, I'm not saying we can't win. We're favored in that game for a reason. If we do win that game, knock FSU out of a bowl game. They just extended Mike Norvell, or not extended, sorry. They announced he's returning.
Vote of confidence, yeah.
Yeah, like, that's just not going to go well for FSU.
No, Florida has the opportunity not to get to a bowl, but do something very, very funny this weekend. And sometimes that's just as good.
Yeah. At this point, when you're not contending for, even like a good bowl game, but you're just, it's like last year, we thought there was a chance we can get like the Gator Bowl, but ended up getting the Gasparilla Bowl, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think there is something to putting down your rivals even more when you're this bad. That even when you're winning a couple more games, you don't get that satisfaction.
Yeah, I mean, beat them while you're down, and then they miss a bowl, and they have to run it back with their coach. Meanwhile, hopefully you go into it with a coach you feel really good is going to get the program back where it needs to be.
Absolutely. Daniel Barry, happy Sunday, everyone. And hire the right coach of the future, that too. I will say, Janari Carr, our 3-star offensive line commit out of plays for IMG, but it's out of Ocala, said that he's expecting us to announce the coach before signing day, which signing day is next Wednesday. So it's going to be it's happening really soon. This is so weird for it to be Wednesday, right after the season.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to it, but you would think, there's going to be the decision on Saturday, and you would think whether that goes our way or doesn't, we're going to move quickly beyond that on our end. Like, you would think Florida's going to have an announcement made pretty quickly, one way or another.
Yeah. Sam, we are favored by 3.5 over FSU right now. Yeah, I think that's probably about where it's going to stay. I don't expect it. I mean, I have a suspicion about this game. I don't want to reveal my pick, but I think 3.5 is where it's going to finish. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be picking around 3.5 though.
Mm-hmm.
A couple more questions here. How do you feel about our chances of getting Lane? I feel great. Last night on our post-game show, we talked about it, and we both said we feel pretty good. I after today especially, all the smoke is LSU, and you've noticed it come down a little bit. It's starting to come down. Message boards are really starting to freak out a little bit. I don't know how much longer it's going to be until we start seeing Twitter start talking about LSU's second options, which is probably Eli Drinkwitz.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling over the next couple of days, things are really going to start to shape out how they really do feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it is interesting. You're right. There is kind of a tone shift today in the way that people are approaching it. The people that were like, it's a done deal for LSU. But I mean, I don't think that means he's coming to Florida. I think what you need to take away from that is the tone is going to shift a lot because his team and our team and LSU's team are putting out what they want to put out there. So, yeah, I mean, I think like everyone's saying that it was a done deal for LSU. Like those people just were getting fed the information that, certain parties wanted them to be fed.
So I think something's probably going to come out Monday or Wednesday. Oh, wait, do you mean for the coach? Okay.
I think he's talking about announcing a hire, I think, which, I mean.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if he means next Sunday or like today or tomorrow.
I mean, I don't think anything's happening.
Coming out.
I don't think anything's going to happen before the Egg Bowl.
I don't think anything official is going to happen, but I think by Wednesday it'll be pretty clear where Lane Kiffin's going or staying.
Maybe. Interesting. I mean, that still leaves a few days for a lot of uncertainty. I mean, I'll be curious to see if it gets like heavily reported or anything like that, or if it's just more kind of message board leaks.
Yeah, that's fair. One thing I want to get on here, not spend too much time on. Cal fired their head coach Justin Wilcox.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty big because we've been joking about it throughout the season. Like Lane's going to come here and he's going to bring Jaron Kiwi, Sagu Patelli to be the head coach, to be the quarterback. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say it's impossible.
No,
Lane's gotten quarterbacks from the West Coast before to come out to the East Coast or to Mississippi, or to the East Coast there. But I thought that was interesting, and also a pretty good defensive coordinator, from what I've been told.
Yeah, he was good. He was a successful defensive coordinator at Wisconsin, I believe, before he was at Cal. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of surprising to see them join the market like that, just because there's just a lot
Yeah,
of
they're 6
jobs
and
open.
5.
Yeah, they're 6 and 5. They just
It's
got spanked by Stanford last night, though.
yeah, I saw that.
They lost like 31
Andrew
to
Luck
10.
at the end of there. That was funny. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, you have the 5. I wonder if this is an effort to keep JKS. Like, I wonder if he was like, I'm transferring, like, unless you make some big move here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's no inside info. But, like, I feel like when you have a 5-star who lit up, who's that good as a freshman, you do whatever it takes to keep him. And if he wanted Wilcox fired, then maybe they made that move. But if he wanted Wilcox to stay, they wouldn't have fired him.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of have a setup. Yeah, they have a setup like Andrew Luck, like you said, where they're kind of a GM over the head coach. So yeah, I mean, it seems like they want it. I mean, they kind of wanted to make a change there for a few years, it seems like, but I'm just a little surprised now, with you already securing bowl eligibility with the upset over Louisville a couple weeks ago. I'm a little surprised that this was the year they chose to do it with all these jobs open, but
I don't think the other jobs necessarily impact Cal.
I think UCLA does. I think the hiring pool for those two jobs could look.
I don't think it necessarily. I mean, it could be. Yeah. Okay.
I think Oregon State does as well. I think Oregon. I mean,
no, Cal's a way better job than Oregon State.
Oh, sorry, it's a better job, but I think the candidate pools are similar there. So
if Cal is losing its top candidate to Oregon State, I'm going to be questioning everything.
I mean,
that I know about college football.
They're not. I mean, they're like they're firing a coach who's like kind of a career 6-6 guy. Like, okay, I don't know what your expectations are at Cal. They haven't had a ton of success that's better than that over the years, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But let's start getting into our segments here. We're gonna actually start off with our Florida versus FSU preview. 4:30 on ESPN2. What a weird kickoff time for Florida versus FSU. I remember we were talking about it last night on our post-game show, and we knew it was either going to be 3:30 or 4:30, and we questioned the 4:30 time frame, and it was like, oh, that's probably the SEC Network game. The SEC Network games actually start at a regular time, 12, 3:30, and 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which they've been starting at like 12:45, and then like 4:15 and 7:45 for like most of the season. I think there's a couple instances where it didn't, but they're going to the regular time frame, and ESPN2 now has a altered time frame. I know the ESPN2 first game is at 1 o'clock. I think it's the Louisville maybe some ACC game. I can't remember exactly
Louisville,
which one.
Kentucky, if it's a Louisville game.
ESPN2 Saturday. What's the 29th?
Yeah.
The first thing that comes up is Florida versus FSU. That's funny. But on ESPN2, Sunday the 20th. Okay, let's go all the way to Saturday. There we go. They just have to listen to college football. They don't even have the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it is. They got to just be shifting the time slots because of the fact that they've got games kind of spread out all throughout the weekend. Like, they've got a ton of games on Friday. So I would think.
Wait, I got it right here. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Pitt, no, not Pitt. Georgia Tech. Okay, for some reason it doesn't have there. Maybe college basketball. Maybe that's the reason why.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know, but they've got it in a different time slot. So I mean, that's just weird. Weird kick time. But hey, I mean, the later kick is better, I think, all around. So
why do you think that?
I don't know. I think because like a 4:30 is like most of that game is going to be after dark, which I mean, I think most people kind of agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be at the game, so it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun environment. I expect fans to show up for a rivalry game. I was a bit blown away. I think I mentioned it last night how I was a bit blown away. Like the stadium was full, and until it was a blowout. But like at kickoff, like I know it's like, oh, we're loyal fans, and talking to Ole Miss fans, it's like we sell out every game. But 3-7 team still a bit surprising for me.
Yeah, I mean they sent Herb Street and Fowler to that game. I kind of feel bad for those guys. Kind of feel bad for those guys, but
that's just the week that it was.
What?
That's just the week that it was. Not many games that they could have gone to that were better.
No, but like you would think they would have slotted like Missouri, Oklahoma into that late time slot on ABC over Florida, Tennessee.
maybe we're getting a bit off track here. Let's
Yeah,
talk
we
about
are.
Florida versus FSU. FSU 5-6, a lot to play for if you're Florida State. You can still make a bowl game here, coming off a rough loss to NC State last Friday night. 2 back-to-back muffed punts. I mean, that's just unheard of. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. And NC State's decision to go for it on 4th and 6 instead of kicking a field goal and getting it, that was just like one of the most baffling calls and what like results I've seen in this season, which is really weird because it's been a fun season. But going for it on the 4th and 6 and getting it, I don't know if their kicker was hurt or something, but hey, it worked. So props to NC State getting the win there. But FSU still playing for a bowl game. Florida still playing for a big time rivalry spot here. What is your initial thoughts on this game?
I mean, it's just, I think about as bad vibes on both sides as they could possibly be. I mean, Florida State's found a way to win a couple games and get themselves in position to maybe get to a bowl game. But I mean, I think the feeling today among FSU Twitter is not excitement of getting to a bowl game. I think it's disbelief that Mike Norvell is still the coach and kind of a feeling that, I mean, I think they're kind of going through a similar, but probably even worse version of what Florida fans have felt last year with Billy, where a coach that a lot of people didn't really believe in anymore, getting another shot. I mean, I think this one's even worse because just, Billy wasn't a 2-10 followed by a potentially 5-7. I mean, not even waiting to see the results this weekend. I mean, you could lose and miss a bowl for the second year in a row. That is pretty wild. So point being, I think, I don't really know what to expect coming into this game. I'm not sure either team. I mean, both teams have reason to be motivated, but that doesn't mean I'm very confident either team will be motivated.
No.
I mean, I think when you look at the actual, numbers, like the advanced stats, success rate, EPA, I mean, it looks like a game that FSU probably should win, but then you look at the teams they've struggled with in ACC play, and it's like, I don't know, like on paper, I think it is a better matchup for them, but they've been very uncompetitive against some mediocre teams, whereas Florida has at the very least been competitive against a handful of pretty good teams. So, it's hard for me to figure out what to make of this game is I guess what I'm getting at.
Yeah, Double D here. Any chance Gus Malzahn leaves FSU? Their offense has been, when that move happened in the preseason, I thought it was a really interesting move, and it was a 2-year deal. I kind of thought Mike Norvell was going to get fired at the end of the year, and with that, Gus Malzahn would also be gone. And with how the season went, everyone thought Mike Norvell was going to be fired, and then poof, he saves his job. So I even thought about Gus Malzahn staying there. Like, their offense has been pretty good, but it's also like it hasn't. It's just one of those weird things where they're pretty decent at moving the ball down the field and not scoring or missing a field goal or getting 3 points. Like, I'm not exactly sure how to describe this FSU team other than inconsistent.
Yeah, inconsistent, inefficient, sometimes a little explosive, but there's not a lot. I mean, I think Gus Malzahn probably. I mean, I'll say this. From what everything FSU said when they put out the statement and the kind of reporting about it, it sounds like the changes that he's kind of going to be forced to make are more changes to the talent evaluation front office side than like overhauling the staff again. Because I mean, he already did that last year. I don't think Gus Malzahn's leaving for a different job. Like, I don't think Gus is getting a head coaching job.
No.
So I'd probably guess. I guess he comes back and is probably eyeing retirement in the next year or two.
Yeah, that's what I was. Well, because remember, that's what everyone said. It was going to be a 2-year deal, and then he was going to retire.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, okay, it's going to be cut a year short, and he's just going to be retired. He's just going to retire after FSU cleans house and everything like that. But no, it's just one of those weird things where it happens and it's in paper, but it feels like it's not what's going to go. And then again, everything went that way for it to him end up being retired or not coaching for FSU next season. And you brought it up, and it's just kind of hit me by surprise that, oh yeah, Gus Malzahn's probably still going to be their offensive coordinator next year.
Yeah.
FSU fans don't want to win right now. They want him gone. I don't think losing. I mean, I don't think losing is going to get him fired now.
They wouldn't have put out that statement if this game mattered for that. Look, guys, they can't afford it. They can't afford to fire him.
No,
That's why
no,
I promise you, if
that
they
has to
could,
be
they
the
don't
reason.
believe
Yeah,
in it. If they could afford to fire him, he would be gone.
he would have been gone after the Stanford game.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, that's interesting discussion right there. But see, 11 points against NC State. Yes, they had 11 points against NC State. But let me look at the stats in this game. Like FSU, like I'm pretty sure they had like some success though. Like Castellanos threw for 200 yards and they ran for like 170. I mean, like 200 passing and 170 on the ground. That's a good day.
They have one of the best run offenses in terms of success rate. Passing wise, not really. Like they're really inconsistent in the passing game, but they have a pretty good running game.
Their passing game basically is just throw it up to Deuce Robinson.
Yeah.
And I could see that having a lot of success against us.
Yeah. I mean, we've struggled again. I mean, with some of the guys we've got back there playing. I mean, obviously Devin Moore, like you mentioned, Sam, in this comment, in your follow-up, like, yeah, I mean, that is a good a good matchup for him. But Florida has some other guys out there who are not playing as well in the secondary due to injuries. And, I mean, like, just guys that are getting significant reps that probably are not either there yet or should never be there, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Deuce Robinson's what, 6'6", 6'5"?
I mean, something like that. He's like built kind of like a tight end.
Because he was a tight end. He was recruited as a tight end out of high school.
Oh, actually, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was like, that's what recruiting services had him. And I'm pretty sure that's what he played at USC. But my point, if he's being matched up on like Javari Flowers is like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
That's a pretty big size mismatch. And obviously, it doesn't mean 100% of the time they're just going to throw it up to Deuce Robinson and be able to moss Javari Flowers. But that's just something you got to take advantage of 2-3 times a game. And those 20, 30, 40-yard passes right there really add up a lot. And the point here is FSU's offense is really good at getting yards, but they're really bad at scoring, which is just such a weird connection to make right there. And
yeah,
it makes it tough to predict this team because Castellanos had 2 interceptions. You take away those interceptions. I know they had a missed field goal as well. Like, based on the yards they have, they probably should have scored like 30 points in that game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the missed field goal, like, FSU's probably should be putting up like 30 in that game. It's like, hey, you just make a field goal, don't throw interceptions, and it's like, poof, your offense looks that much better. And they just do it every single week. I don't know how to react to this team. I mean, they put 34 on Virginia Tech. I mean, I wonder if Virginia Tech was like a little bit sailing in that game, so they would make sure they got James Franklin. Like, is that something to legit talk about? Or is it just crazy talk?
I mean, I think it goes back to what we just said, which is, I think win or lose against Virginia Tech, Norvell would be gone if they could justify paying that amount of money for him to go. So, I mean, I think, I kind of doubt that. I mean, I think Virginia Tech's just a really bad team, frankly. And like FSU they're not a good team by any stretch of the imagination, but like there is talent on this team. This is a better team, like down to down, a much more successful team than the one they had last year. Like they have some strengths here. I mean, they're like a top 20 offense and EPA per play on, so like there are some things that are good here. So, I mean, the point being, I think like they just are better than the very worst teams in the ACC. But I mean, that's not saying that much.
Yeah, but like they lost to Stanford.
Yeah, but Stanford. I mean, Stanford just beat a ACC team that's going to a bowl yesterday. Yeah. Bad. So, I mean, I think Stanford has at least had moments, but like, yeah.
And another game like I look at it makes it confusing. 42-7 over Wake Forest. Like Wake Forest is 8-3. They're a good team.
Yeah.
And they just got trounced by Florida State. So it's like, what is this FSU team?
And obviously the Alabama win that we just pretend didn't happen at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's week 1. And I'm actually thinking about it now. Top. Boom. FSU is 0-4 on the road this season.
Okay.
And those performances at Virginia, which is probably going to make the ACC title game, which is just crazy. So like it's on paper, it's not that bad of a loss, but like it kind of was. But at Virginia, at Stanford, at Clemson, at NC State, and now they play at Florida. And only two of those 4 one-score games, Clemson won by 14, NC State won by 10. So maybe this is a road thing. I mean, at home, close loss to a good Pitt team, 3-point loss at home. Dominated Virginia Tech, dominated Wake Forest, beat Alabama, and the Miami game was a bit interesting. Miami's obviously a better team than them and everything. Like they lost it by 6, but that wasn't like a close game at like any point there. So this is a team that you look at their resume is a good team at home. Like if they're playing all their games at home, they're probably like 8-4, and they beat Alabama at home, of course. So like it's a pretty good team at home, and on the road they just are terrible.
Yeah. I mean, the question is, I think the biggest question for Florida is, I mean, just being straight up, like to what extent are these guys still trying?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I'd hope this being the last game of the season, it being a rivalry game, there's a lot to play for here. With FSU having a chance to make a bowl game and some other stuff that could be on the horizons not too far in the future. Or I don't think if Lane comes to Florida, I don't think it'll be announced before the game. I mean, it could be. Like they said Saturday, but it would probably be like after. If I had to
bet
guess.
now you think because after would be at like 9:00. I bet it would be before. Honestly, I'd be willing to bet it would be before.
That's interesting. But my biggest key in this game is just running the ball. FSU's tackling efforts are porrid. Like I was watching that game against NC State, and they were just pulling up some horrible tackles that NC State running backs were just easily able to shed off. And our offensive line run blocking looked great against Tennessee. I mean, FSU, again, that's FSU. They have some actual good players on their D line. You know, like Daryl Jackson's going to be playing on Sundays. They have this freshman. What's his name?
I'm blanking on his name.
I'm pulling up.
Desire, right?
Desire.
Yeah,
yep. And James Williams, like Deontay, they have some good players on their D line. But it was the same as last year, really. Like Marvin Jones, Daryl Jackson, Patrick Payton. Like they had good individual players, and at times they were able to get big plays. But they still, if you got past that D line, the linebackers, DBs, the tackling efforts were just horrible. So I think if our O line continues to run block well, and we don't just avoid running the ball in the first half like we did against Tennessee, I think worst case scenario here is. It's a game that goes by pretty quickly in the first half and low scoring. We go to the fourth quarter and we've wear down that FSU defense and we're able to maybe pull the win off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I feel going best case scenario. I mean, I don't think Florida just comes out and like wins this game comfortably. I don't really see that happening. Because I do think there will be motivation on the FSU side for I'm not sure the fans care, but I think the players will. But I mean, I think like, FSU's defense, like their defensive line, like you mentioned, there's talent there, which there is. I mean, they're not like a super, like they don't create a ton of havoc. They struggle against the pass. They're a little bit better against the run than they are against the pass, but they're not particularly great against either. So like, I mean, if DJ is going to have a game, I think it could be here. And I mean, obviously you got to feel like Jaden Ball can have some success, given the way they've defended the run this year. So yeah, I mean, I think there is a semi-solid offensive matchup here. I do worry a little bit about Florida with how injured they've been, having a big guy like Deuce Robinson defensively. And then just obviously, what we've seen struggles against dual threat quarterbacks befor. And Castellanos, like, say what you will, he's thrown a lot of interceptions this year and stuff, but he can make plays, outside of structure. So,
yeah, I 100% agree. Our are we ready to make picks, or is there any other points that we've maybe missed on here?
I think everyone kind of knows where we're at here. I think we can get into picks, unless you have something to add.
Sam, is this the game that gives DJ his confidence back? He went off last year. I don't think he went off last year. We like, we won that game by 20 points.
Not one of his best games. Yeah.
Like he had that crazy play where he shrugged off Daryl Jackson, and his one interception was Marcus Burke running a wrong route there, but like he had a solid game. I wouldn't say it was horrible.
I mean,
but
didn't they have like 8 fumbles as a team in that game?
They did.
Like
that
8
also.
Yeah, so like I mean that wasn't a game for DJ last year. Also, this is a very different FSU team. I mean, that's the thing. They're still disappointing, but like they are not that level of bad. Like they're a lot better.
No, but hey, I guess we'll get into our picks. Yeah. I think it's going to be a bit lower scoring. I mean, hot take there, I bet. But no, I think it's going to be a bit lower scoring. I think we're going to be able to run the ball at a pretty high level. I think we're going to be able to win this game. And I'm going to take us to win this game 23-16.
Okay, we're pretty much pretty close to each other with those picks. I kind of agree. I don't think Florida, I mean, I think DJ kind of is what he is at this point. I don't think it's nothing's getting fixed this week. I think we've said that before. It's if anything's going to get fixed with DJ, it's going to happen in the offseason with a new coaching staff. So I don't think like you're going to see the offense finally find its stride in this game. But I think Florida can get enough stops on defense, force enough mistakes from Castellanos, run the ball well enough to tough out a win. I see something a little closer, but I also kind of agree pretty low scoring. I say like 24-21 Florida.
Yeah, I see that. That honestly might be it right there. You're convincing me to change my opinion, but no. So we both have Florida winning. Maybe we shouldn't. I mean, we just got blown out by Tennessee, but Tennessee would blow FSU out as well, I think. So
yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily. And I'd hope the team gives a lot of effort in this game. It's a rivalry and everything, so that's just something you can't predict.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean my pick is operating under the assumption that this team has not completely given up and quit. Because if they have, then all bets are off.
Yeah, because I mean we saw that early in this year. This FSU offense can really score if they're not making dumb plays, stupid plays, and having penalties that cost them poorly. But no, I think we're able to win this game, knock them out of playoff contention. Is in the swamp. I expect it to be a ruckus environment, especially if the Lane Kiffin news starts going our way.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited, and hopefully Gators win. Yeah,
I mean, look, rivalry games still fun, opportunity to make their vibes really bad going into the offseason. So I think that's enough to at least motivate you to care a little bit, or at least it should be.
Yeah, it should be. JOB, if he gets his confidence back, he will lose it the first time next year when they have a tough opponent. Hey, I mean, if he's the QB for hopefully Lane Kiffin, I think I have a trust in Lane to get him right.
I think a lot of the thing with confidence is, you're confident, just getting in rhythm in an offense that's designed to help you be successful can do wonders for your confidence. We haven't seen DJ operate in an offense like that. So, I mean, I think that would be the, I guess, positive spin if you want to kind of take the optimistic view of DJ's future under a new staff.
Yeah. I hope you guys have a great show this Friday night when we find out if we get a new coach after the Egg Bowl. The game's at noon. I know they said the announcement Saturday, but could it happen Friday?
I mean, I would say you could hear anything. Nothing would surprise me. Hearing anything wouldn't surprise me after the clock hits zeros in the Egg Bowl. Like anytime after that moment, I think it could happen at any point next weekend.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that sentiment right there. And just saw the picture of Eli Drinkwitz in the purple and white.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny, the tone shift today from the LSU side. But again, I don't think it's in response to anything material, because all of this has just kind of been about message board sentiment and kind of what one insider's saying, which, depending on the insider, has changed from one day to the next. So, like, I think it just, again, like I said at the top, it just kind of goes to show that, like, no one really knows what Lane's going to do. I don't know if Lane completely knows what Lane's going to do at this point. So I think, again, it's, we got a week, we're going to figure it out. But I think for now, the wave is, you got to just kind of ride the wave here.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Sam's pick 28-17, Ball and VB3 are too much for FSU. Banks and Moore have a great game on defense. I wouldn't say that's impossible.
Credit to Caleb Banks for coming back, man. Like a guy who really, frankly, probably if I was his agent, probably would tell him not to. So.
I can tell you his agent was telling him not to.
Yeah, I believe it. So credit to him, man. I think that's just a big, sends a really strong message that there's still some culture in this locker room with a leader doing something like that. So
yeah, Caleb Banks, one of the few players I was playing with that intensity.
Yeah,
last night, him, Ball, Sap a little bit. That was basically kind of it. I mean, it's hard to tell if a Devin Moore was or not, but it would be nice to see Banks and Moore have a great game in their final games in the orange and blue.
Yeah, senior night for a lot of guys that a lot of guys that have been bright spots in a pretty bad era of Florida football. So
it could get leaked. Yeah, unless it's a very on 3 reporting, Lane Kiffin is expected to be announced. The next head coach at UF. We wouldn't go live or anything until it's official. Or
yeah,
again,
if Pete Thamel tweets Florida is finalizing a deal to make Lane Kiffin its next coach, at that point, that's probably when we would go live.
Absolutely. Also, yeah, Ball getting 1,000 yards. He's 96. I believe he's at 904 right now. So 96 yards to get to 1,000. The first in 10 years. Kelvin Taylor being 10 years ago is just wild to think about.
Yeah.
It just clicked for the first time. But no, we'll be right back. We're gonna talk our Pick'em League, just us two, and then we're also gonna talk about Lane's decision. It's already been most of the show, most of the chatter. So how much more do we have left to talk about? Who knows? But we'll be left to talk about it after this quick break from Mark Rogers.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Welcome back to Florida Gators Live. Friday night, when FSU lost to NC State, I was starting to get a bit excited. Then Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, when the Missouri versus Oklahoma game started, I messaged Tyler saying, hey, I currently trail you by 3 games in our Pick'em League. And Missouri went up 3-0, and it was 3-0 after the first quarter, and Oklahoma's offense was looking horrible in that first, 20 minutes of the game, 25 minutes of that game against Missouri. Then they hit a big play, and we're able to outlast them to win 17-16, I think.
17-6.
Yeah, 17-6, you're right. Outlast them to win 17-6, and was not looking good for your boy. And then the rest of the week was a lot of this, or the rest of the games were a lot of the same, unfortunately, for me. NC State FSU, I got correct. Tyler got wrong. I had NC State. Missouri versus Oklahoma. Unfortunately, Missouri's offense was just horrible. Little info on that. Drink may have been busy talking with people a lot that week. We both picked Oregon. That was a close game. That was a good game against USC.
Mm-hmm.
And then you picked it Pitt beat Georgia Tech. You said they're gonna beat one of these two teams.
I sniped
Hopefully
that
they can beat both. But no, Georgia Tech ends up beating Pitt. Or sorry, Pitt beat Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech almost had a comeback in the end there, but Pitt was able to get a big touchdown run to seal it. And then I picked Cincinnati to get the upset. BYU said no, and they won pretty big, if I'm not mistaken, in that game.
I think so.
And UF versus Tennessee. Yeah, that was over in the first quarter. And now our records are following. I have a record of 48-48, exactly at 500. While Natuno currently has a record of 55-41. Now, we are including conference championships in our picks. So I have 2 weeks here. But, if it's still a seven game stretch here going into next week, then I'm going to be in some trouble. But we're going to pick a lot of games for rivalry week because it's rivalry week. Anything can happen. First game we're going to start off with, Thursday night, Navy at Memphis. Memphis is a 5.5-point favorite. Navy did get the upset win against USF. That's a solid team right there.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis, are they out of the running for the American?
For all intents and purposes, they have 3 conference losses. So yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah, okay, they're out. So maybe they lay up the boots. Navy, of course they're never going to lay up the boots there. So I'm gonna take. I know who you're gonna take.
Do you?
I'm gonna take. Because once I say it, I can't switch it.
Yeah,
that's a rule here. So, or should I have you go first since you're?
I can go first if you want. I know who I'm gonna take.
All right, who are you gonna take? You're gonna go first for every pick here.
Yeah, I think this is like Memphis's spot. They've already done the thing where they ruin their season, so they're not gonna play for the American title. But this is where they come out and look really good and get a win. I'm not sure Navy can score enough to stay in this game with them because they have a pretty good offense. So I will go Navy here. I mean, I will go Memphis here.
You know the rule. I'm kidding.
I said it.
I won't do that to you.
I said my pick at the top.
No, okay. I'll give you Memphis. I'm gonna take Navy. Is
that where you were leaning before?
I think it was, and I think Silverfield. I don't know where, and maybe he's not. Maybe Silverfield doesn't leave this year. Like how I thought Summerall was going to leave last year at Tulane, but no job opened.
Yeah, there's a lot more jobs this year though. You got to think Silverfield's gone. I mean, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
he could be not,
but yeah, I'm gonna take Navy to pull that upset 5.5 points. All right, now. We get a lot of games here on Friday, which is pretty unusual. Ole Miss at Mississippi State in Davis-Wade Stadium. Ole Miss 7.5-point favorites within a touchdown. Never say never here. Who are you going to take?
Man, I mean, the last time they were in this spot, they almost I guess it's not even a pun, but they almost laid an egg in the Egg Bowl the last time Lane was in this spot where there was kind of a flirtation going with another job. So Mississippi State's good enough where if they're not taking it seriously, they could give them some trouble here. I think they'll probably be able to score a bit because I don't think Ole Miss's defense is all that great. But man, I don't think this happens. I don't like as much as it would be incredible to see it happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Ole Miss wins this game.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture this game in my head right now. And I'm picturing in my head, I'm trying to think of any possible way Mississippi State wins this game.
Yeah.
And I see it. I see a way.
What is the way?
Am I going to go all out and do like every pick against you? Trinidad's a good quarterback. I mean, that defense, Devon Booth and is Fluff Bothwell back? I assume. I
think so, but I'm not 100%.
I think they could run against Ole Miss. I don't trust Blake Shapen. Which is weird for a senior quarterback.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm going to pick Ole Miss here. Ole Miss here. I just don't trust Blake Shapen.
I think this will be a game. I think this will make them nervous. I think it'll be a game, but I don't think they lose it.
I'm right there with you. Utah, Kansas. No, Utah should win that pretty easily. Iowa, Nebraska. No, not picking. I was only at 5. If it is at Nebraska, you're picking Iowa, right?
Yeah. Who did Nebraska? Nebraska Penn State yesterday.
Oh yeah, they got obliterated there. All right, here next game, Georgia at Georgia Tech. 3:30 on ABC in Mercedes-Benz. Unfortunately, it's not at it is in Atlanta, but unfortunately, it's not at Georgia Tech Stadium there. Georgia 13.5-point favorites. Of course, all of us remember that game last year.
Yeah.
8 overtimes, or was it 4?
So
it was crazy. I can't remember.
Yeah,
some number divisible by 4 right there, but coming off that disappointing loss, but Brent Key in big games always has this team ready.
Mm-hmm.
And this game is in Ben's. You're making the pick, of course. So you taking Georgia or Georgia Tech?
I mean, Georgia Tech gave them absolute hell last year, so you can't completely discount that. I don't see a path for Georgia I don't see a path for Georgia to lose this game. Like, Georgia Tech's defense has been so bad the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Like, Georgia is going to score on them at complete will. I just don't see how it can happen. Like, I'm not even sure I think they can really keep it close. I mean, look, man, if Georgia Tech does win that game, you could kind of talk me into Brent Key off that. I mean, it's not as a first choice, but you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think Georgia rolls. I think Georgia's playing some good ball.
I don't think this one's even gonna be close. I worry about Georgia as like can they win a national title this year, frankly.
Like, you think they can?
Yeah. Like, I worry about them from the perspective
me too.
of a Florida fan.
Yeah. I think they're playing. I think they're peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
And Stockton, I think, is one. I think Stockton's a bit underrated.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he should be in that Heisman talk.
He should. I mean, he's kind of in it. He's like 5th or 6th in the
if he was playing in the SEC championship, he'd have a chance. But
yeah,
he needs A&M where Bama is Georgia. Does he? Yeah, Georgia's above Ole Miss. So
yeah, Georgia just needs a loss from Bama or A&M, Bama or A&M this weekend. That's all they need.
Speaking of which, Texas A&M at Texas. A&M's last performance against a legit opponent, not Stanford. They struggled in the first half. They were horrible in the first half. It looked like the game was over, and then they go and score, 33 unanswered? They win that by 2 or 3 points. I can't remember. 34, 33, whatever, unanswered, 31 or 30, whatever. But is that A&M team? I mean, it's at Texas at DKR. Texas A&M's a 2.5-point favorite. I think DKR isn't that good of a stadium advantage. I think we talked about it on the show before, but $405 for the cheapest ticket. Whew, expensive game right there.
Yeah.
But what's your pick here?
So first of all, I think are you ready to give me at least like a little bit of an admission that Texas's offense looks like it's gotten a little bit better? I know they were playing a terrible defense yesterday, but I think
it's gotten slightly better.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than it was.
Remember the Georgia game 2 weeks ago? They did not look good.
Yeah,
and that again goes to what we were saying. We think Georgia is peaking, but
I mean, I think A&M is a flawed team in some ways. Like, I don't think it would surprise me if they lost this game, but Texas's offensive line is just not good this year. And like A&M, when they've played teams with bad offensive lines, it is very bad news. I think this is going to be a game where Arch Manning is kind of seeing ghosts. I think he's going to be under a lot of pressure here and not be able to do too much. So I think even if Marcel Reed, throws a couple cookies to the Texas defense, like I don't think that's going to change the fact that A&M wins this game.
I'm tempted here because it is at Texas, but no, I'm not going to lose this on Friday. I'm going to keep things going here. Yeah. I'm going to take A&M to also win this game. I think Cassius Howell is going to feast.
Yeah.
On that Texas offensive line, and that's not even mentioning their other, Cersei and some other great players they have there. So, yeah, I think A&M wins that one. Although it's like that performance against South Carolina, it really has me questioning if the A&M curse is finally going to catch up to them. Like, I mean, they've made it to the playoffs, so it's like curse or not, whatever. But like. They've been perfect this year. Is this where it finally runs out? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Last Friday night game here, we're gonna pick it. Arizona at Arizona State. Arizona is a 1.5-point favorite on the road. Arizona State obviously doesn't have Sam Leavitt. He's announced he's entering the transfer portal, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't think he's announced it. There was just a report that came out this weekend that he's like actively shopping himself in the portal. If he announced it, then that happened today, and I missed it. But I don't think he's announced anything.
Okay, so I mean, I don't trust Jeff Sims. The game is in Tempe. This is like one of the more, I think this is like a kind of underrated rivalry game. These two teams hate each other.
Yeah.
Every year, there's like fights in this game. Arizona's been sneaky good. I think Arizona rolls in Tempe.
I actually disagree, although I understand the pick. Like, Arizona has been sneakily good this year. Noah Fafita's ended up having a nice bounce back year. I just, like, you say you don't trust Jeff Sims, and I don't really either, but like Dillingham just continues to find ways to win with him. And like, they haven't had Jordan Tyson. They're just a banged up team, and they keep winning games. I don't know. I kind of think he finds a way to get this one done in a rivalry game. So I'll go Arizona State here. Just give you a chance you'll have a chance to make one up here.
Yeah. All right. Now we move on to Saturday. A lot of more fun matchups to go here, including the game. Ohio State at Michigan in Ann Arbor. Ohio State a 10.5-point favorite. I had some people telling me like Ohio State's 100% losing this game. There's no way Ohio State wins it. I'm taking Ohio State, and I'm taking Ohio State by a lot. No, maybe not a lot, but like 3 scores.
Yeah, I think that's a lot.
Like 17 points.
I don't quite agree with that. I think it'll be lower scoring. I don't know if like Ohio State's offense is going to be able to put up a ton of points in this game. I don't really think Michigan can score on them, though. I mean, we'll see. Maybe if they can run the ball a little bit, but I mean, this Ohio State defense is so good. Like, obviously, there's a psychology element you have to think about, but I mean, we talked about that previewing the Tennessee game last week, and we saw how good of how much good that did when the game ultimately comes down to blocking and tackling. So I think Ohio State's going to be fine here. I think if they lose this game, I don't even know what to tell you if you're an Ohio State fan, because that's crazy.
It's like, it sucks to lose this game, but enjoy the natty.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel bad for you. You just won a national championship, but if you can't win this game with this team against that Michigan team, I don't know what Ryan Day is doing when it comes to preparing for Michigan.
Yeah. All right. Next game, we're going to pick 13 Miami at Pitt, another noon game. Miami's a 6.5-point favorite. I know you said last week that Pitt's going to pull one of these upsets, and you predicted it last week. You got it, or yesterday, you got it correct. Do you think they pull both off?
No, honestly. No. I thought they were going to get one. I thought the Georgia Tech one was way more likely. I think Miami's defense is still good enough here to not like spot them 28 points like Georgia Tech did the other night or last night.
Yeah.
I think Miami has its flaws, but I don't think Miami was like a fraudulent team this year. I think it's just like Carson Beck still kind of is Carson Beck. This team is a good defense, but like has some limitations. But like, I still think they are the best team in the ACC. Like, if I had to pick an ACC team to like go into battle with every week, I think that's still the one I would pick. So I think Miami gets the job done. I think they'll be fine.
I'm taking Pitt to pull the upset. I really like Mason Heinzel. I mean, they're putting a lot into this game. They're winning in right now for the ACC. For the playoffs, so they still control their own destiny. Miami does not, and I kind of wish this game was later in the day. So, and it's like we'd figure out what happened in the Virginia. I mean, Miami needs like 5 teams to lose, including Pitt. So they need like 3 or 4 other teams to lose for them to even make the ACC title game. I kind of wish we knew whether they were already out or if they knew that they were winning in this game. So I think if Miami was winning in, I'd take Miami.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to be in. I think the team kind of lays an egg here. I mean, they played well. Like they played bad teams, so it's not like they can be like, oh, they're playing a lot better football. But I think Pitt's going to pull the upset here. I think Narduzzi in this spot. Pitt will be ranked Tuesday as well. He said against Notre Dame that game didn't matter, so they've just been practicing for their next 2 games here. And I'm going to be surprised. I thought Pitt was going to be a pretty bad team this year, and I think they're going to end up making the ACC title game. And I don't know if we're going to pick them later. I don't even know who they play, but I think they're going to get rolled by SMU.
Yeah, I mean, credit
Spoiler
to
alert.
Cade. Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't think they're that great, but I mean, like, credit to Cade Bell finding that quarterback. They've done a good job there this year. So, yeah, I mean, the ACC, I mean, I was like, is it really as simple as Pitt wins? Like, what is it? Like, is Georgia Tech out? What happens if Virginia wins, because I tried to look at an ACC tiebreaker and it literally gave me a migraine, like looking at the tiebreaker scenarios.
So Virginia and Pitt are winning in.
Yeah.
Miami needs like 4 teams to lose. Oh yeah, SMU isn't winning in. What am I saying? Oh my god, I don't know.
Yeah, so I didn't think they were. So like, yeah, I like, again, the ACC, I really just don't know. I'm waiting for the official league office to tell me what happened. Like,
Yeah,
if who wins what game.
yeah, I'm right there with you. All right, next game we're gonna pick here. Let's scroll down the list a bit. Ooh, Oregon at Washington. If Oregon loses this game, are they in?
Maybe not. I mean, not with
necessarily
with the way they're being treated by the committee right now.
No,
probably not.
Washington's played some better football. Wisconsin wasn't as bad as that lot. I mean, Wisconsin's not a good football team, but Wisconsin just upset Illinois.
Yep. 2 ranked wins this year.
Yeah, 2 ranked wins for Wisconsin. Like, that loss isn't as bad as it seems when they lost that game.
Yeah.
So, they're not. Unfortunately, I had them being a win and in game right here against Oregon, which I had them winning in the preseason. They've looked better, put up 49 and 48 in back-to-back wins against Purdue and UCLA. Not good teams, but they're taking care of business there. Oregon, they took care of business against USC. It's at Washington, though. That's a pretty tough environment to play. I'm going to have you pick this game first.
Yeah, I think Oregon will be all right here. I think Oregon defensively is good enough. I think they can probably run the ball here, which has kind of been the strength of their offense. So, I mean, I like Washington. Like, I like Damon Williams. There's things about Washington I like, but they're a little too inconsistent for my liking. And we haven't really seen them kind of come out and do it against a really good team. So, we kind of saw they just got shut down in the Ohio State game.
And Michigan.
And the Michigan game. Yeah, good point. And the Michigan game. So I think this will probably be a little bit similar to that, maybe a little closer because it's a rivalry, but I've got Oregon.
Yeah, I'm also taking Oregon. The way Oregon just took care of business against USC, it brought me back in on Oregon a bit more. And I was still questioning them, but that win there, I'm not saying they're winning the title or anything, but I think they're a playoff team now.
Like, I think they're a good team.
Yeah, I think they're like the 6th best team in the country.
Yeah. I mean, I think the fact, because they don't have a very impressive resume, but that doesn't mean they aren't good.
Yeah, that's a good point there. So, yeah, we're both taking Oregon. Whoops, accidentally clicked Washington. There, let me get out that. Okay. Next game. This is a fun game. LSU at Oklahoma. I'm still not bought in on Oklahoma. This team, I hate Oklahoma so much. I wanted them to lose last week. I don't want LSU to win, although I don't think it really impacts anything. It is at Oklahoma. It's in Norman. It's in Gaylord Stadium. Or Oklahoma's a 10.5-point favorite. The over-under is 38.5 points. So that's a projected, 20... what's that projected win? 38 points or projected win by 10? That's a...
Be like...
24 to 14.
24 to 14, yeah.
I mean, I don't think LSU is going to score. Their defense is good, though. LSU's defense is good. I think it's going to be closer. I think LSU covers that spread. I just think if Mateer loses them, I think Mateer could lose them this game because LSU can create turnovers. We need some chaos in rivalry week. I don't want to pick LSU, but we need some chaos. Give me the LSU Tigers to pull the upset against Oklahoma. We ball.
Well, we've come full circle here because earlier in the year, I was the one who was optimistic about LSU, and you were the one.
This isn't pro LSU. This is anti-Oklahoma.
Okay. I mean, the thing is, Oklahoma's offense is bad. I don't trust it, but it doesn't matter because they keep winning games because their defense is so good and they do just enough. Michael Van Buren is not the answer, at least right now. LSU offensively, they're not going to score. Like, they just simply, I mean, they might not score as many points as Missouri did. So
LSU has been able to hit 1 or 2 big plays a game.
I mean, they just scored 13 points against Western Kentucky.
Yeah, that was bad. But
I mean, they're not going to score 25 points against an FBS team this year unless they do it this weekend. They
Well,
haven't
that's
done it
why I
yet.
have them winning 10-7.
Yeah, I don't think they even get 10. And I think Oklahoma will find a way to score enough. I think it'll be like almost exactly like the way the Missouri game played out. So I'm on Oklahoma here.
JLB, when are you guys having a show again after today? So our next show is the post-game live show after the FSU game. However, if something breaks about Lane Kiffin Friday night, Saturday morning, I mean, I'm going to be tailgating the FSU game, so it'd be tough. I mean, maybe I could bring my computer as like a laptop as a just in case thing, but currently it's going to be Saturday night after a couple hours after the FSU game.
Yeah, I'd probably say like unless something happens on Friday, because if it happens like Saturday morning or afternoon, I'd say we probably will just do an extended post game live where we kind of make that more of the focus. I would think.
Yeah. Perfect right there. And I'm piggybacking Oklahoma losing to LSU to our next game in Neyland Stadium. Vanderbilt's beating Tennessee. Vanderbilt's making the college football playoff. That's why, that because Vandy doesn't make it if Oklahoma beats LSU. So I think Vandy is gonna beat Tennessee. Tennessee's a 2.5-point favorite. I don't trust that Tennessee defense. I thought we were able to run really well on them. Vanderbilt's offense is really good at staying ahead of the chains and running a consistent offense. I think Vandy's going to be able to do that. I think they're going to cause some turnovers. A couple turnovers are the difference in that game. So give me Vandy to win at Knoxville.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of spiritually agree with this. Like, that feels right to me. I feel like Vandy's going to win that game, but like, I also don't really know why. Like, I can't really think of like why from a matchup perspective I would think that. I mean, I think Vandy's defense is kind of suspect, and I think Tennessee will score here. I will give you the opportunity to make another game up here. I'll stick on the home team. I think Tennessee is just a little bit better.
Okay, Tennessee fan here. No, I'm kidding, of course. Next game we're gonna pick. I mean, I'm not just gonna pick some 5-5, 5-6 versus 5-6 Penn State Rutgers here.
No, please don't subject me to that. I don't want to do that.
The Pac-12 championship.
It's round 2 of the Pac-12.
It is round 2.
We've already played.
Hey, this is how you love college football. It's the regular season. The team is playing for a second time. Washington State, who lost the first game, is a 13.5-point favorite. Oregon State's really bad, so it makes sense. And one game obviously doesn't change anything, but yeah. We'll pick this one, though, because it has such major impact. Virginia Tech at Virginia, night game. If this game was in Blacksburg, I would 100% pick Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
It's I was about to say it's in Detroit. What am I saying? It's in Charlottesville. I've been anti-Virginia. I remember I picked them like back-to-back. They lost the second time. Virginia Tech has a lot to play for. I'm going to take Virginia Tech to pull the upset.
Wow. I mean, Virginia does not win this game. They've won this game once since 2003.
That's true. The one time they won it was 2019, right?
Yes, in Charlottesville. They haven't won this game in Blacksburg since 1998. So, I mean, like this has been a really one-sided rivalry series, but like, man, Virginia is actually a pretty good team. Like if you can't win this game against this Virginia Tech team at home, I don't even know what to say. They might never win it again. So I think I gotta say they get it done here, just because I can't stomach that on their behalf, them not getting it done once again in this game.
That's fair. Excuse me there, but I want to pick against them, so that's fun. Let's see, that's there. Maryland, no. Ooh, here we go. I'm surprised. This is only a 5.5-point spread. The Iron Bowl. This game was this game? When's the last time this was a night game?
No, it's usually because it's usually been the 3:30.
Yep.
Historically CBS one, yeah.
Last year was probably noon with how bad Auburn was.
Yeah.
So Deuce Knight ran all over Mercer. I mean, his first 3 carries went for like 150 and 3 touchdowns. I mean, is he going to have some juice against Alabama? What is your thoughts here in this game?
I mean, doesn't this game just feel to you like this is like the final powder keg that needs to be lit off, like for the just complete chaos of this like season and this coaching carousel cycle? Like, I'm not saying Kalen DeBoer is like being fired or leaving if he loses. I'm just saying, if he loses, I don't know if I can confidently say anything about what's gonna come.
I agree.
I don't really think they will, though. Like, I think Auburn offensively, I think you might get a little bit of something here, but I don't think it'll be like enough sustained to win this game. Like, I think Alabama has its flaws. Like, their run game isn't good, so I don't expect them to like blow them out because I don't think they'll score a ton of points. But I think it'll be a close game that they ultimately win by like a score that makes it look not super close, like a 27-14 or something kind of like that. But I do think Bama wins this game.
So this is the last game we're picking here. We currently have 6 different picks. I'm trailing by 7. Obviously, we still have conference championships.
So
If
you
I have
don't
a
pick
perfect
the upset
weekend,
here, you have to pick the
if I
upset
pick
here.
the upset, no, we still have another week.
Oh,
and,
true. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
We're still gonna have like 6 games or more. We'll probably pick every conference championship game because a conference championship should be close enough to pick. Do I think Bama's gonna lose this Iron Bowl? If Kalen DeBoer does lose it, you're right. It does get interesting. Don't think anything happens, but it does get interesting. I'm really tempted to, but I've kind of been on Bama's side this whole year, and I think everyone's gonna be picking Auburn, and then I think Bama's gonna stomp them, like not destroy them, but I think they're gonna shut down the offense. I think they're gonna have enough success and to win this game like 31-7.
Wow. Okay. So you're even more confident on Bama than I am here.
You know, like I'm trying to think of how this game goes, and I see a world where Auburn just keeps it close, keeps it low scoring, but I also see Bama just not letting Auburn score. Some false confidence from Auburn after beating up on Mercer. I mean, and also Ty Simpson struggling against Southern Illinois or whoever
Eastern
it was
Illinois.
they played. Eastern Illinois. I apologize to all Illini there.
Please get it right next time. I appreciate the apology.
Yeah, sorry there. But no, are you from Illinois?
No. Never even been to Illinois.
You need the apology. No. But yeah, I'm gonna take Bama there. But a lot of games. Actually, let's see. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games. We have 6 different picks. Definitely the most games we've had all season. What is the second most? 9? Yeah, 9. So plus 4 here. A lot could happen in 1 week. 6 different games. I mean, either it's going to be over by conference championships, or it's going to be something where I could pull off that 1 in a million miracle.
Yep.
I kind of feel like it's going to be over.
I hope so. We'll find out.
Oh, wow. You don't even want to, not even for the culture, for it to be close going into
I guess, just to make it more interesting for conference championship. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I'll let you make up like 2 games. I'll still feel good if it's like a 5.
Make it within 5. No, you got to give me like 3.
No, that's too much.
No, okay. 4 is too close. 4 is too close for you.
Yeah.
All right, but quickly, I mean, we've already talked a lot about Lane Kiffin on this show. So let's on Friday at that that meeting between Lane Kiffin and Keith Carter felt like, I don't know when it ended, when it started.
Yeah.
But it was reported starting at 1 o'clock to noon Central Time. And I don't think the statement came out until like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And the words of the statement leads us to believe that Lane Kiffin's gone. I mean, that was kind of when I read it, I was like, okay, Lane's not going back to Ole Miss. Did you have that same impression or anything like that?
Well, because I mean, it's just like, how does that meeting get to an end and we get to that point where the statement's being put out and Lane still like what if Lane wanted to be there, wanted to sign an extension? The offers have been made. Like the leverage has been given. He's had the opportunity to kind of counter offer Ole Miss. If you still aren't willing to sign an extension, like what's going to change at this point? Why are you continuing to entertain these pursuits if you know
because it's Lane Kiffin?
I mean, maybe
that's the only thing.
And frankly, if so, like that's kind of irresponsible on his part because all it is, being a distraction for a team that has the potential to do something pretty special there. So, But I don't think that's what it is. I think Lane Kiffin probably is leaving, probably to Florida or LSU. So, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, I don't see how you can feel like as an AD that you put out a statement saying our heavily pursued head coach, who is wanted by 2 of our conference rivals, will make a decision about his future 1 week from now, implying he hasn't made a decision and is not looking to like I don't know how you can release a statement like that and feel good about where you stand in the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes.
Yeah, I read that and I kind of got that feeling that yeah, he's not coming back. I also just don't think he's going to LSU. And I think there's a chance where it's like he could go back based off what was read there. It's just Lane Kiffin doing a bit of trolling, but here's the thing. Lane Kiffin's already put so much publicity, already distracted the minds of his players so much. The only way he goes back and it's like where they didn't distract the players was if he was like, he told the entire team. But if he told the entire team that he was doing this, it would have got leaked.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I mean, 85 scholarship players, not
Yeah,
players,
no
plus the walk-ons, like, assuming he talks to the walk-ons, but plus the walk-ons, like, it would have gotten leaked by now. So it's just so much of a distraction for him not to leave, in my opinion. And I think LSU is just a smokescreen. I don't think he's going to LSU. I've heard from sources that LSU's just been a smokescreen the entire time, and I'm more worried about Ole Miss, and I just think everything points to the fact that you can't go back to Ole Miss at this point. Like, it's just too much for you to end up being like, yep, I'm staying.
Yeah, it's just really hard for me to buy he's doing all this just to like win the Egg Bowl and do the hero's welcome thing when he announces he's like, I don't think I mean, we're getting to the point where like he's kind of poisoning the well with Ole Miss fans. Like they're unhappy. They're getting very, and honestly, rightfully so. Like, I get it. I would feel the same way if I were them. And I probably will feel the same way if Florida hires Lane Kiffin and the Los Angeles Rams come calling in a couple years if Sean McVay decides he wants to hang it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, whenever we're at a point where Lane Kiffin has an offer that, you know, could potentially entice him to leave Florida, he's probably going to do this to us and I'll be annoyed like they are. But I don't really feel like nothing he's doing makes sense if he wants to go back. As far as the LSU of it all goes, I mean, you are more, you know, you have more like sources on this than I do. I'm just kind of going off what is sort of in the public sphere and kind of trying to synthesize that info. And like, I don't think you can ignore LSU because it's a good job and they have a lot of money and he's their top candidate. Yep. So they're not going to go down without a fight. They're going to give, you know, it seems like regardless of what Jeff Landry said, you know, a month or two ago, it doesn't sound like they are afraid to hand out a massive, you know, heavily guaranteed contract again here, a bigger one than what they gave Brian Kelly. It seems like is what they're willing to offer. So,
and over a 24-hour period, they offered him 3 different contracts.
Yeah. It's assuming the numbers.
And he signed every single one of them every day.
All of them are done deals. All 3 of them. They're 3 separate done deals. Yeah, I mean, I think that it just goes to show, like, man, all this stuff is fluid. Jimmy Sexton is a master at this. Everything you're hearing is because Lane's camp wants it out there. And I mean, I think to an extent, some of it's like LSU wants it out there. Like, I think a lot of the LSU leaks, I think, are probably also coming from LSU side to an extent.
You know, I saw Shea Dixon, whatever it is, posting, talking about it. He said LSU's trying to keep things quiet. Or he said LSU's keeping things quiet. And what? Do they know the definition of the word quiet in Louisiana?
Yeah, I mean, again, unless all this stuff is coming from Jimmy Sexton, in which case I think that would help your theory that it's that LSU is a smokescreen. Because certainly, like, I mean, I will say this, like, I think, you know, I remember hearing people say, like, and I think this was a prescient point at the time. I think I remember people like saying ahead of the Florida Ole Miss game, like, I don't like that there's this much smoke this early about Lane in Florida. Like, it makes me nervous that there's some smoke screen going on here. Well, I think that might have been fair at the time, but I think that now is something that LSU fans are kind of reckoning with themselves because, I mean, like I said, everyone was saying it was a done deal 2 days ago, and now today the whole narrative is, well, hey, Florida is still very much in this. You can't ignore Florida. Florida's still a player in this. Okay, man, I don't think I think there's some subterfuge going on here. Again, it's Lane Kiffin, and there's no one's going to know. Like, there's truly nothing he can do on Saturday or whatever that would surprise me. None of the three decisions would surprise. The only thing that would surprise me is if he goes to Penn State or something like that. Like, that's the only thing that would surprise me.
Penn State's keeping things quiet, so
yeah, they really are. But no, I mean, I think like, keeping things quiet, like Florida hiring the search firm. I mean, they said one of the reasons you do that is to keep things quiet. It seems like that's done its job because Florida has had remarkably few leaks. I mean, insiders saying something is one thing, but none of that has really made it to Pete Thamel or Matt Zenitz or anything like that, other than kind of in accompaniment with the LSU stuff that leaked. So, I mean, who knows, man? I know you feel good. I would be lying if I said I feel incredible, but I still think Florida's in a decent spot. And I think my kind of where I've been this entire time has just been like relaxed, because no one piece of news that comes out, no single message board post is going to be the smoking gun. No tweet that's a troll from him means anything. Like, he's going to decide in the next few days what he's going to do, and we're going to find out what that decision is.
I mean, yeah, you put it perfectly. We'll find out what the decision is, and hopefully some of this decision could be released a little bit earlier, so we don't have to wait all the way to Saturday. And what are the chances that Lane just announces he's leaving Ole Miss and doesn't say where he's going on Saturday?
I mean, I guess you can't discount it, because that does kind of sound like something he would do. I almost hope he does, just because I think it would actually break both LSU and Florida Twitter. Yeah. I don't think anyone can.
And Ole Miss.
And Ole Miss Twitter.
Ole Miss. Ole Miss fans would be hurt more than anyone.
It would be the most infuriating possible thing he could do for all involved.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you right there. I mean, I don't know how. At that point, he's going to the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just funny how no one's talking about that. Like, the fact that it does seem like there is at least like a tiny, tiny bit of Giant smoke there, but
I don't think it's.
I don't expect it. I'm just saying, like, in the sense that, like, I think he's someone they've like at least have on some sort of list. It might be one of many, many candidates, but I think there's been at least that much connection there.
I'll say Lane doesn't like the cold.
No, he's never. I mean, has he ever coached north of
coaching the Rockies?
Did he? Oh,
the Rocky Mountain. Yeah.
Where though? Wait, where was he at?
Am I confusing mountain ranges? The Rocky Mountains, Tennessee.
No, I might just be being stupid. Where I'm just forgetting what job are you talking about?
Tennessee.
Oh no, that's Rocky Top. The Rocky Mountains are in Colorado.
Wait, what are the Appalachian? Wait, what? Am I crazy?
The Smokies.
Smokies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smokey the dog. This is. I was just trolling him.
Yeah, that is a bad
I'm
look.
Gonna go grab
Tennessee
some corn.
Fan comes in chat and you immediately call Rocky Top the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab some corn. Not having to climb the mountain though. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, sorry for that bad joke, but no, I wouldn't. I'm not. I think if it's an NFL, it is the Dolphins. But again, I expect a decision to be made before then. I don't know how do buyouts work. If you're going to NFL,
like, what do you mean?
Like Marcus Freeman's buyout is reportedly a large sum of money, like $30 million. Now, if Florida were to buy him out, that's $30 million. What if an NFL team wanted to? Would an NFL team also have to pay that? Okay.
It's just like that's less of a like the NFL. Those are usually pretty manageable because your owner's a billionaire, so they don't mind eating a $30 million buyout. Whereas like for Florida, that would actually be pretty prohibitive. But like for a billionaire NFL owner, they could care less.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes I understood the NFL billionaire stuff. I just didn't know if they have to pay the same buyout or if it's just like a clause or if like you come back to college, you can't do it or anything like that.
I mean, maybe there's some deals that like specifically stipulate a different buyout for leaving for a college job versus an NFL job.
I know Todd Golden, his buyout for the NBA versus college is different.
I mean, that's I'm sure there's a lot of jobs where that's the case, but like, I think, if it's not specified, then yeah, no matter where you leave, you owe the same amount.
All right. Okay. I'm not sure what that is. But all right, that'll be that for there. But hey, keep this episode a bit shorter because I suspect in the coming weeks we're gonna have a lot to talk about on this show.
Yeah, it should be exciting. I mean, I think, and like, look, even if this doesn't end the way we all want it to, there's still going to be a lot to talk about, no matter what. So we will be
getting Nick
there
Saban
to cover it all with you. What was that?
We're getting Nick Saban.
Yep, Nick. There you go.
But no, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you guys do leave a like, subscribe to the channel, comment, love reading those comments. But that'll be it for today. Next time we see you, probably will be Saturday night after the FSU game. Hopefully talking about multiple good news that are plethora of good news that come out throughout the week there about Kiffin and a win. But hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you Saturday, Friday, whenever. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. And as always, go Gators.